Let's take a quick look at the goods receipt screen in the Materials Management Engine. This screen is used to receive purchase orders typically. It's also a way to make a material transaction for a particular item. So let's just use this case, an example, our long life tofu as a good example. We're stocking that by the can perhaps. So let's go into goods receipt. The goods receipts module is accessed under the inventory control and by clicking the goods receipt menu choice. Now I could type in a number here or do whatever, but what I'm going to do is I've got a handheld scanner in my hand, and I happen to actually be holding a can of this tofu, so I'm going to scan this. And you'll see that the item pops in. Now I can manually type that in, but ideally you'd have a scanner to do that, making life a little bit easier. I could also enter a purchase order number. So if I'm sitting in the receiving dock and a shipment of items comes in and there's a packing slip that references our PO number, that's another way for me to find that. Because I scanned a particular item, this long life tofu, I'm seeing 4 different lines. I've got that item on 3 different purchase orders that I could receive that in. And I've also got a line here that allows me to receive in these items that have nothing to do with the purchase order. So if I wanted to just say I want to just add some long life tofu to our inventory that hasn't been purchased, I could just do that here. I can just say, you know, we want to add 50. This is sort of an alternate way of handling a manual transaction, if you will. But typically, if this were purchased, I could do it that way. And I get a visual representation of the barcode as well for each of these items. Now, because I scanned the material, I'm only seeing this item. I can see it's in these 3 purchase orders as well. Often you'll want to receive an entire purchase order at one shot. So if I just scan the first item, so let's say a lot of items came in from a particular vendor, a large shipment, I just scan one of those items. I can then click the PO number, and the system says here are the other elements in that 10210 PO. We've got 3 other items, some tofu, some spiced okra, and some other items down below. So I can receive all those in, so I can just scan the one item out of the whole receipt lot, and then quickly move over to that PO. If I then want to automatically receive the entire purchase order, I can simply hit Auto All and automatically receive all of those items quickly, or I can do a partial receipt. So if I use the Auto All, the system recommends that I receive the full amount. That doesn't have to be the case. And then the cost, of course, is going to come from the purchase order, which I can also edit as well. So then it's just a matter of committing those, and then those items are now received into inventory. I could also handle goods receipts by looking at a particular warehouse. So if I'm sitting in the Seattle warehouse, I can set the entry mode into Seattle, and then I would only see items, POs that are earmarked at the purchase order level for the Seattle office. Likewise, the Hong Kong or London warehouse, I could do the same. Another thing that I can do quickly is find an item by number. So if I don't happen to have a barcode or I don't know the number, I can type in description and find an item that way and quickly find it that way. There are also some default properties that I can hide, meaning that as I'm receiving items in, what's my default inventory, what's the default status of these items that I receive in, what's the default class, receiving zone, and date for these particular items. Again, once I set these, they're kind of out of sight, out of mind, so I can collapse that section. But that gives you a general overview of how to handle goods receipts in the Materials Management Engine.